It's no secret that OU Parking Services has a negative reputation.
I'm so sick of being late for class because OU Parking
Thanks,
is so
OU Parking,
awful.
for building more dorms and taking
OU
away
parking
more
for
parking.
commuters is an absolute
OU
literally
is
built a
OU
parking
gonna pay for
garage,
my
and
parking
parking
ticket
is
when I get it
because
because
there
there's
is
a
not
shortage
one
of
open
parking
parking
spots
spot regular hours.
Parking
There is nothing worse than parking at OU.
But do they really deserve all that? Yep, they do.
The new Jenkins parking garage has 1,221 spots, but by how much does it actually improve parking? The bottom floor is staff only, leaving 1,040 spots for students. Parking Services says they tore down 405 spots to build the garage. I have no idea where they got that number from. When you count the parking spaces demolished to build both the garage and the residential colleges, we lost 727 parking spots. Additionally, 476 spots here were also demolished to make room for new housing, and this 210-space lot over by Greek was bought by the BCM just this August to make room for their new building. Even with the new garage, the number of parking spots on campus has fallen by 373 over the past year. Even more, most of the parking demolished was multi-purpose parking for anyone. Commuters can't find spots in the single garage level open to them, while plenty of spots on the priority housing level remain open. Many of these aren't even taken by people with priority permits, they're taken by freshmen with housing permits that can't find anywhere else to park. OU does say this construction will include 1,000 new parking spaces, which sounds great, until you hear that the housing there will lodge over 1,200 upperclassmen students. This likely means that most of these parking spaces will be priority housing, and will do little to nothing to help the commuters and freshmen that desperately need that parking. Parking pass prices have risen by $65 since 2014, and according to Parking Services, will continue to increase until 2019. While they claim this is to fund the new garage, it's not exactly comforting to know that you're paying more for fewer spaces. Those permit price increases were also apparently supposed to pay for an electronic sign outside the new garage telling you how many spaces are open. That just doesn't exist. But you can always check out @OU Parking on Twitter for sometimes blatantly wrong updates on open spaces. It's also supposed to fund a parking guidance system in the garage with lights over each space that shine red if the space is occupied and green if it's open. Now this seems to exist, but I could only find 2 lights that were on, both of them red for occupied spaces. The rest of the lights weren't working at all. Over the summer, OU Parking tried to make students who wanted to park at Lloyd Noble Center pay $100 for a Lloyd Noble-only parking pass. Unsurprisingly, people didn't like that, so President Boren forced OU Parking to retract that decision. Not only was an order from the president of the university required to actually change this decision, but complaints about parking are generally just met with the counter, just park at Lloyd Noble and take the shuttle. This is a decent solution for some, but it's clear that free parking isn't something that Parking Services thinks is important to keep around. OU Parking cited state budget cuts as their reason for taking away free parking. But Parking Services has repeatedly stated that they are entirely self-funded. This means that state budget cuts would have no effect at all on the amount of money Parking Services gets. OU Parking makes about $4.1 million each year from yearly permit sales. Money gained from citations is harder to approximate, but even a conservative estimate using low citation fees yields profit in upwards of $1 million annually. Those numbers don't even include game day parking passes, single day parking passes, or any other sources of revenue Parking Services might have. Apparently, OU Parking was asked by someone to do more to add to the university's general fund, whatever that means. Parking Services attempts to justify this by claiming that the general fund directly benefits students. You know what also directly benefits students? Decent parking options. If the university needs more money in the general fund that benefits students, then put that cost up front in student fees. Don't hide it in Lloyd Noble parking passes that punish students who can't afford to live on campus. The most depressing part of the whole ordeal is that there isn't really any clear way to fix this problem. Parking issues aren't unique to OU, it's why tweets like this are able to go so viral every fall. The university has shown that it's completely out of touch with what its students want in terms of construction projects. And I get it. Shiny new residential colleges look much better in an OU brochure to most people than good parking, at least until people realize how much they miss the latter. OU Parking Services is also remarkably out of touch, leading to these actual quotes from their PR rep. Quote, "Even if we had 20,000 students and 20,000 parking spaces, we're probably going to have, complaints." And, quote, "We haven't had a lot of negative feedback." Full disclosure, those quotes were from 2014, but considering that the Twitter account @OUParkingSucks was created in September 2013 and was active until at least November of 2014, it doesn't seem like student opinion was too different back then than it is now. What's more unfortunate is that the university has an agenda. With the large increase in on-campus housing, OU has no reason to make commuter parking better. If anything, letting commuter parking get worse works to their advantage, making it more appealing for people to live on campus and get a priority housing permit. It's already listed as a main selling point of the residential colleges. Since Parking Services makes over $1 million every year on just citations, they have no reason to make parking better. They obviously need the cash for something, and every time a commuter gives up and parks in priority housing so they won't miss their lab, that's just more citation money for them. So where do we go from here? First, give OU Parking Services real constructive feedback. Angry tweets and Google reviews like this are funny, but they're not going to fix the problem. Campaigns have worked in the past, like the 2014 push to make the citation records public, even though that literally required a lawsuit. Be critical, but also be civil. Let them know that you want roadmaps of when new parking will be finished. Let them know that you want them to be transparent about what they're doing to satisfy student requests. Ask them to release the percentage of permit oversales they do every year. Make it so that next time they say, "We haven't had a lot of negative feedback," it's either because they're lying or because they don't have a reason to get negative feedback. And let them know that this isn't because they're evil or because we're just needy millennials. We just want to get to class on time.